Hey everyone, it's the Beards Bastards Gaming Group with the Villains of Man, bringing you session 36 of our Dungeons & Dragons 5th edition game, The Ancient War Reborn. That's the back of a book, and I'm your DM, JVD.
Hey guys, I am Evan the Great from the Villains of the Man. I play Lou the Silverstring, the Elven Paladin Bard of Bahamut, Harper Agent, character extraordinaire.
Hey, I'm the Bearded Wonder with the Villains the Man, and I play Vesper Nork, the Moon Elf Rogue / Warlock of Glock.
And I'm Smiler with the Villains of Man, and I'll be playing Ranka Norik.
And this is our third player roundtable, and just based on what Smiley has said, a lot has happened since the last time. I'll kind of give you guys a rundown. Last time we did a roundtable, you guys had just met Zalto,
Yes.
gained his favor. You have aligned him with the Lord's Alliance. You have dealt with the Zentarium, who you're now made part of the alliance with. You've even gained a member because the Lord's died. You've gained the army of Gauntlet Grim as Ord before he passed away. Met up with Brunor Battlehammer. Vesper has become this warlock of cloth, this evil dragon. And her counterpart, Luda, became a champion of Bahamut, so there's an interesting mix there. You have found out that this whole breaking of the ordning has kind of been due to a dragon who kind of spearheads the cult of the dragon, and you're coming close to all this. Well, there's a lot that's happened. And Vesper learned that there was so much more to her sword than what she originally thought. Yeah, because everybody wanted to fight over it, not by choice, but
Yeah.
there's been a lot that's happened. So, I guess we'll go around the table as normal, and Evan the Great, just give me your overall thoughts since the last time we've had this round table.
Since the last time we had the round table, my thought process and my character development has changed drastically. It's went from at this point, from a regular just Harper Agent Bard character, and she fully grown into the paladin and did not know her ways, and now she does. She is a champion of Bahamut. I am the speaker of dragons, the good aligned dragons, and as a ambassador of the Greenfield Company, she's took on more of a role of a defender and a vengeful paladin to make sure that this Tiamat does not rise. In doing so, we have still got plenty of political, I guess you'd call it political stance on different things with the different alliances we formed, different kings we talked to, and then there's the sadness of losing her only friend. Not really. One of her best friends in the world.
She
Ord.
was already sad. I thought it was funny. She giggled behind her backs.
Actually, it wasn't. Ord has fell. We found out we're not very good at reading. What's the time? What's the thing called? The
Doing stuff without Ord?
The sundial. We're not good at sundials.
I figured that out.
But there's a lot more. I don't want to.
Accidentally.
There's a lot more, and I don't want to give it away until everybody gets a chance to talk. So that's her overall assumption, that she's become a regular person in this world to somebody who has to stop the world from being destroyed.
Would you think that you've got to become conflicted during all this?
Yes, there's a lot
Because
of that.
Vesper's changed, you've lost
Yeah.
Ord. Orvustia has stayed behind before you got to where you're at now.
Yep.
And you were even going to stay there with her. She told you not to, that you were needed. Vesper,
Yes, sir.
how would you sum up your character here in this last 10 sessions?
Man, Vesper, she's went through a lot.
I would probably say more than anybody.
I
Easily.
try to play her with the mind of a teenager, because she's only 70, and elves don't reach adulthood till they're 100. She is really she's really smart. She has the intelligence, but her wisdom is low. Her wisdom's a 12, so I mean she's higher than normal, but she's still a teenager. So I try to play that. So if anybody out there watching, they're like, man, Vesper makes some she's here 1 minute and there the next. It's just because I'm trying to reflect her.
She's angsty and moody.
Yeah, I'm trying to reflect that teenage, and and try to get her in that teenage mindset. So yeah, she left Orvustia behind, who she had fallen in love with, and I don't know if she killed a villager.
Yeah.
Well, to be
Right.
fair, to
That
be
you know
fair,
of, yeah, she did kill a villager.
Yeah, and she is kind of all over the place right now, but that's just because teenage hormones. That's how I'm kind of trying to play that.
How do you feel about the whole thing with cloth?
Yeah, she
Is
did
it
that
okay.
very impulsively,
Yeah.
and now she regrets it a bit. But
I'm just between all of you. There's going to be probably a lot of questions directed towards Mr. Wonder because he has went through a lot.
she enjoys the power that it gives her, but also she regrets everything that kind of came with that power.
So, are you having second thoughts?
Yeah, well, like I said, she's like a teenager. Like, you do something 1 minute because you want to, and then the next minute you're like, I really shouldn't have done that.
How do you feel about joining up with the Zentarian being forced?
Oh, she hates that.
And then but then they give you your mother, who you
Yeah.
thought's been dead this entire time.
I think she's starting to come to realize that her goal of taking out the whole Zentarium may have been a little rash, maybe, or kind of stupid, something I did. And now she just wants to kill the people directly responsible.
Okay. How do you feel that you also find out your brother is alive and he is a legit Zentarian spy?
She's right now to the point where she kind of wants to just disown her own brother because of that.
I'm gonna trade him in.
So you don't think she could redeem him at all?
She feels betrayed, and maybe he can be redeemed, but she's not a hopeful person.
Oh, let's jump ship to Smiley, who has played 2 characters in this time.
God,
Three.
where to begin? Shall I start?
Rupert's his own.
Oh, it's true. But Rupert
I know.
Rupert don't do the actions you guys do.
Shall I start with Ord?
Yeah, because that's where we left off. You were with
What did he
Ord.
say? She went through the whole phase of self-discovery. No, Ord. Has spent his entire adventure searching for someone. God, how can I even put that? He went to Gonal Grim, made cool shit, fucked up his creation, but then he got fixed. Rupert got super badass. I'm very curious when it comes to politicals because Ord did all the talking in most situations.
Very true.
How that's going to turn out, especially when it comes to like Zalto. He's supposed to be making the cannibal servants for Zalto and stuff like that.
Well, to be fair, Vesper she doesn't mind talking, but
Yeah.
she gets a little rash.
And if you think about it, the 2 main powers that have come to play with the Lord's Alliance, besides Zentarium, which you just said you brought them together. So you brought Brunor, Battlehammer, and Zalto in, and now they're at a place together.
Yeah.
And they don't even know you're dead.
No one knows. I don't think the Lord's Alliance as a whole knows
No,
who's dead.
because everything has happened so fast. I've realized that since teleportation circles have became a thing,
Yeah.
because they're so high level, you move fast. Think about it. I mean,
It's getting faster.
so. But anyways,
Yeah.
continue on.
But Ord consistently did what he thought would be right, and to protect his friends and what little bit of life he had left, right up to him killing himself in order to get everybody else out of the maze.
Self-sacrifice, best type of hero.
Yeah.
And then we kind of had to sit around for a while till the
Yeah.
right moment came.
That was torture.
You know, what do you feel? How do you feel about playing Riker?
He's fun. He's different. I don't see him as the heroic type.
No, not at all.
More, I have a job to do.
That is kind of what he is.
Same things. I don't want to say too much about him because he has his own motives, and whatever conflicts may be rise out of them. He has his opinions of Vesper right now. I'm not sure what all Acri has filled him in on since his departure. He spent, I think it was like 6 of his 10 years as a member of the Cult of the Dragon, where he was chosen by Emerith and was adopted as her son.
How does he feel about now that you guys have killed her? Because, I mean, she took you in, she chose you, and she gave you power.
He's not one for sentimentality, but he felt a debt towards her. In the total scheme of things, he did feel a debt towards her, and he had much respect for her. And it kind of saddens him slightly that something that he has so much respect for had to pass.
Mm-hmm.
When something that he could have learned so much more from her. But again, he has a job to do.
That's very true. Now, do you guys have any questions for me before I move on here?
Not you,
Now, who do you have questions for then?
Vesper.
Ask.
As our relationship at the beginning of this whole ordeal was me trying to get you back to redemption, you fell even deeper, all the way into the hands of cloth to bring your love back. But yet you will not give your own brother the chance to redeem himself. Why is that?
Like I said, I'm really just trying to play her as this like emotional teenager.
Yeah, I'm
Like,
just looking at it
if
as
you
all
as an
how far
adult,
you fell, and I'm still
but
trying
as
to get
an
you back.
like as an adult, just hang out with teenagers sometimes.
Oh yeah.
They are all over the place. I mean, they really are. Like, and you look back, you're like, I was never like that. Then you think about it, and you're like, holy shit, I guess I was.
Yeah.
So I'm just trying to get back in that kind of mindset with Vesper because she's so young, you know. So
I see her being young, but I also see that she's lived a very adult, responsible life these last 2 to 3 months in our game, probably.
I wouldn't say that.
well, no, I mean
I
She's
think
been acting out the whole damn time.
I know,
Yeah.
but I mean, the circumstances she's living under is like world-ending type shit, you know.
Yeah, but teenagers don't care about that.
Well, they say like some kids don't have a life because they try to be an adult too soon.
Yeah.
It feels like you're trying to be forced to be an adult, but you're rebelling against it.
Well, she's just
you're kicking it away.
the way I see it is she's just really angry. Like she's this
Yeah.
teenager, and then she's got a lot of pent up anger, and she already thought her brother was dead, and now that her brother was part of the Zentarum and he just joined, she sees that as like a betrayal.
Yeah, because
So-
think about it, man. I mean, you at the beginning of the game, like you talked about being a teenager, it's kind of what you were
Yeah.
until early on. You know, you found out that hey, this guy showed up. Was like, hey, you know, you sell these guys out, we'll give you your mother.
Yeah.
And then you made that adult decision not to. And you've kind of been grown this entire time since then, until you know, Robuste died, and then you just like lashed out and made bad
Yeah.
decisions. So I mean, it's almost like when a teenager's has this good life and then their parents get divorced.
Yeah.
You know, when it fucks with them.
That is why I'm one question, Tarsiel.
Got any questions?
Not that I think you give us answers to. So.
You never know. You never know.
I have a strong hunch.
Some things have come to pass that might not be relevant anymore. So
Right.
go ahead.
Everything's relevant. It's a trap.
I don't know. I can't really think of anything off the top of my head.
What about you, Smiley?
How's Snurt doing?
House nerd. Well, considering it hadn't been that long ago,
Yeah.
so let's see. Let's backtrack 5 days to the temple and back. Teleport there. That might have not even been a 10-day ago
It wasn't
from where you're at. So
It was right before we left for the tower, which had been. That was a day there, a day back.
I'll put it this way:
Like 3 days.
emotionally, he's great because he doesn't know Ord's dead yet.
And we should probably keep it that way.
You do not want to, because if he gains some magical powers, he might go on a rampage. Who knows?
The mighty Snurt.
I mean, for all you know, he might learn to cast Fireball and go back to Grudhog and light that place on fire. Because, I mean, Chief Gug's still alive.
He
But
said
that
she
was
was dead.
No, you met her at the Temple of Mills?
Yeah.
No, I thought we walked in there after Emerald attacked us in the temple and she was dead.
No, most of the giants had left.
Well, you specifically said that it's because she was going to be last. Like she was
So-
dead in her chair.
Yeah, but you got to think, you guys had met the princess, she
Yeah.
wrapped her meetings up, and then you guys left.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, no, none of them guys were there. So speaking of Maelstrom, how do you guys all feel about the whole Emrith being in there, and then you find the Storm King at her lair.
Makes sense. Like finding him there.
Do you guys feel dumb for not seeing it sooner?
Well, once we ran, figured out that she was a traitor dragon. That's why I kind of figured that Storm King would be. But I
Yeah.
didn't. Like Riker, he didn't know anything about a Storm King. He didn't give a shit about a Storm King.
No, not at all.
His idea of the Storm King was a distraction for Emrith.
Okay, I guess more importantly, because that doesn't hit you guys in the heart, what about being forced with the Zentarium? How does that make you feel? How does that make you feel?
Yeah, Vesper doesn't like it.
You see,
At all.
my reaction, as me, not as my characters are, it's fun to watch him squirm.
It is.
I mean, as a player, I love it.
Yeah.
I mean, it builds tension, you know.
Yeah, and
So-
when there's already enough tension,
Yeah.
and then that's personal tension for you.
It's almost like a subplot.
Yeah, it
Yeah.
is.
So
I don't know if you realize that. I throw a lot of those in
Right.
there. It's like a good comic book story. Hey, here's a subplot that's going to develop like 20 issues from now. So, what about you, Harbor Agent?
Actually, she as a character and out of game, she loves the fact that we're working with them because that's her whole thing, like getting inside the underbelly of the
She
enemy.
thinks she's in charge of the Zentarum.
Yes, exactly what he said. She thinks, "Oh, I'm here now. I've got this." When really, she don't have this.
Luda thinks she's the best Harper agent, too.
Yes.
Just so everybody knows.
She's almost become that way. Like, I got all this stuff, and I'm like higher up than you now, Leo. So, but really, she's not.
I was gonna say, yeah, are you? Because you still answered to me.
I know, but she
And
feels
she
like
doesn't have very many contacts in comparison.
That's very true.
Does
So
Luda have any contacts?
it is like her only contact. Well, I don't know. You have
Like we have this, most of our contacts are monsters.
very true. Yeah.
I think outside monsters there's Varys.
Speaking of contacts, what about your giant buddy? What about Harshnag?
I'm still sad about that. That was the turning point in this whole campaign, when he gave his life so we can exit
Oh,
at the Temple of the Allfather.
No
That-
watch, he's going to be alive somewhere.
To me, that is the best scene. If we making a movie, that would be the scene that everybody would talk about.
you think so?
Well, the fact that we was all there, we wasn't powerful enough to fight this thing yet, but the fate of the world was
I'm
on us.
betrayed for one.
That's what I was just about
Well,
to say.
He was there with us though, and he wasn't dead. He didn't die then. So I felt like, I don't know, man. I felt like it was great. To me, that was an awesome encounter. Awesome. It sucked that the storyline we lost Harshnag because he was somebody I did contact a lot. He was one of my top people that I trusted. It's like Ord and Vesper, even though I yelled at her constantly.
What about you, Vesper? How do you feel that he's gone now?
I mean, it's sad, but I don't. She didn't really have a strong connection with Harshnag. I mean, he was a friend, an ally, but not really close. I mean, well,
You remember on that wall?
I
Just
guess we
fighting all
did
the
spend a lot of
people.
time together, didn't we?
And
Yeah, I mean,
he
you
shows
traveled
up.
from like midway through Faroon
Yeah.
all the way to the north with him for like 2 months. So
I almost forgot about
You
that.
taught
'cause
us
we kinda
Broken
fast forward-
Giant.
Yeah, because we kind of fast
We
forward.
taught us Broken Giant. He brought us to the Allfather, the Temple of the Allfather, which
Yeah.
led and showed us all of what this is. He actually is a very big part of what we can do. and
But
what
I'd
we
almost say
know
that Vesper's used to loss by now.
well, if you think about it, yeah.
I mean, she's lost so many people. It's just like, yeah,
Because think about it, you lost him, right?
Mhm.
Before you lost Orvustia,
yeah.
and then you lost Orid. And before that, you had already lost your mother, your father, your brother.
Yeah.
So,
So I think that's one reason why she's able to walk away from her Orvustia kind of more easily than what it probably would have been.
because you
the first time.
lost.
She's just like, you know, fucking everybody gone in the end.
I kind of feel bad because I can't really point one thing towards you, Smiley, because you play two different characters in this time. What do you think Ord's doing right now?
I feel like Ord will be the type that if it was offered, he wouldn't walk to the gates of heaven. He doesn't feel like he deserves it, despite what others will say.
Hmm.
He blames himself for Harshnag's death. He blames himself for what happened in Green Mist.
You guys did run.
You got what?
Y'all did run. I forgot about that.
Yeah, because you were the
That's
only one.
too.
Yeah, you were the only one that
Yeah,
did.
the only reason why you did is because you have a magical shield that allows you to.
He didn't. I don't think she had the shield. Did
Oh
she?
I had a
yes.
shield.
We were
Yeah.
giving him shit so much
Yeah,
about
I
that
guess you did have the shield. Yeah.
because he made the comment, "It's not my fault you're too weak." It was both of us look at him.
Yeah, very true. I forgot about that. Had my time frame mixed up there.
Luda gets an ass whooping because the shield doesn't protect her from us.
Well,
Jump,
maybe you.
jumping back, I guess is a question for you since you brought the two together. How do you think the Brunor Battlehammer and Zalto thing's going to go? Because he's taken the primordial there. You know, dragons are attacking that place currently in game where we're at right now.
It all depends on. Bruno's putting faith in Zalto. We're all putting faith in Zalto. It all depends on how Zalto returns the faith. Is he going to go through with his word, return to us the primordial, and seek peace, or is he going to turn into a tyrant? This adventure may very well not be against Tiamat, but against the Valdanod.
It could be.
But my thing is also gonna keep this alliance once he finds out that Ord's dead, because now Ord can't make his mechanical slaves.
Good question.
There's also some other important things. If I'm not mistaken, when Ord promised to make those slaves, I am 100% sure that I said I would help him do it.
You probably did.
When it comes to making them, Snurt has like schematics and stuff for
What I'm saying,
I would
so I-
imagine. Like he'd have the essential knowledge. behind
Technically, I
it.
think Zalto will own me after this.
I don't think you told me you would help me. You didn't say anything to Zalto.
Okay, I was making sure, so I did
I
say
believe
that.
that was like after we had already.
That's
left.
bad, because my character would be stuck somewhere.
Well, you say that, and you just brought that up that you don't know if he's going to turn into a tyrant.
Yeah.
What if he does? What if he sees that you're not here to own up to your part of the deal? Or what if he learns about it, and he's got the primordial in his forge, the Vondon's almost done, then what?
Then we have something else to deal with.
Theoretically, let's just say that happens,
Yeah.
and you're in this whole, and you're looking for these masks. As a player, what would be more important to you to go take care of?
If I knew that the Valdanod was our threat, I would see who would win between a god and a machine. That would actually be Riker's suggestion.
I'd actually be down for that.
Because then whichever one is surviving is going to be a lot easier to pick off.
Yeah, after they fight each other, then we go in for the kill.
What about you, Harper? Who's all about preserving everything, keeping the peace.
Yeah, keeping the peace is important. At the same time, using your enemies against each other is a Harper way.
Once the enemy of my enemy is my friend.
But we're not talking about two individuals that's just going to fight each other. We're talking about a machine that has a power source that it took Brunor Battlehammer to put out before, fighting a god.
The primordial isn't a power source, it's what was required to forge.
it's going
Well-
to forge it due to how heavy it
I
is.
mean, there's a lot of powerful circumstances there that could go haywire, and we could have three things on our hands if it does not go
But
correctly.
here's the thing: who says it's not its power source?
I think it is his power source. this
Because
entire
no one
time.
bothered to ask. He just said he needed it to forge it.
I just assumed it was like the forging, like I did in.
There's a couple things.
No one asked.
Out of game, Luda in game didn't ask, but out of game, Evan thinks that
Well,
he still could be lying to us, and this is not a machine that has used this to forge it with. This is a capture device where he can control this damn thing.
Well, see,
well, just while I read it, sounded like he just needed it for to facilitate the creation. It sounded like he was using it for a
Yeah.
forge.
I think, what if he's
But that
built
was just to
a
me.
containment for it, and he can control this primordial once it gets in there, and he just.
That would be badass.
But
Quit,
he-
shut up before the DM gets ideas. It's just a primordial and a fucking mech.
I just. This is what I think
It's
could
like-
happen.
Power Rangers favorite style.
you destroy the Bob Nod, and then you got to fight the primordial.
see, I don't think.
At that
Zalto
point, I was
will-
like, fuck it.
yeah, I don't think Zalto will really care that Ward's dead. per se, as long as he gets the stuff. And if Snurf's got the schematics, and then, you know, I'm sure that the dwarfs from Gauntlgrim can forge these slaves, if nothing else.
Someone must be technically minded.
Yeah.
So speaking of Zalto, how do you feel now that you've got King Hinkenton free? Do you think that's going to turn things there, or because that's where his daughter had went?
Well, now we can get the order
Shit.
back in shape, right?
Well,
I don't know.
I mean, hopefully.
Well, the last thing we heard was the Vaudenaut rises.
yeah, you can think that we can get the order back together, but we're also putting Inketon and his daughter in the dwarf and a fire giant in the same location.
You see, here's the trick. We can't go anywhere.
Shit can blow up real quick, and the one who always holds shit together is not longer with us. It's Orid. And there's no way we're going to stop him from ripping his head off if he gets to that point.
Would he get to that point?
But would we want to stop it at that point?
Because what Zalto was saying was that he's less concerned with the war name, more concerned with like creating the Vaudenaut to fight the dragons. And if that puts him in the top, then he's happy. But he was more concerned with whooping somebody's ass.
But what if
Yeah.
Hinkenton and Zalto get into it, and Hinkenton kills Zalto, and then Hinkenton controls the Vaudenaut?
What if we kill them both and control the Vaudenaut? Perfect.
But
There
does
we go.
anybody know how to control the
Fuck
Vaudenaut?
Yeah.
That's what I'm asking. No one asked a lot of questions about that while you were
Well,
there.
would he have answered that?
Maybe. Depends. I mean, I can't answer that now because it's in the past.
Yeah.
So, Zalto.
Let's rewind real quick and go ask
How do you
the
control the
question.
Vaudenaut?
Let's use that time stone.
Yeah, there you go.
Oh,
Yeah.
God.
Don't use the time stone. But why would you want to use the time stone? You could just use a reality gem and just change it.
Change reality, yeah.
Yeah.
Then the Ord will be back. Ord will be the Vaudenaut.
Who says they want that though?
We'll just, we'll just rewind time all the way back to the beginning of the game and just like have everything figured out.
Alright, the well's this way, let's go.
Yeah. Let's not go to the north. Let's just go up here to
Let's
the
just go this
northeast
way.
instead of northwest.
I'm nervous.
But then you were like level 3. That could have been bad.
Yeah.
Where our sneakiness was great.
No, we just be like, is it Rocky 2 or 3, whichever one, where he's like training in the snow in the barn
Nah,
to fight Drogo?
That's 4.
4. Yeah.
the best one.
Yeah. Like he's out there.
No,
that
no,
would be us. We just be
we
trained.
wind back time except for us. We're still us.
Yeah.
Now that song's running in my head, damn it.
Out of there.
Yeah, and all the other one where he's training, and it's like, I forgot what
Oh, I
it
know
said.
you're talking about. Yeah.
Damn it. Fuck it.
Maybe anything else we want to talk about that comes to mind real quick? Otherwise, we'll wrap this up.
Now someone's just
I
talk about
think-
just the state that Vesper's running away from Riker.
I think that we still,
Yeah, she doesn't really like the fact that you're a Centaur.
I still believe
You don't know his motives yet, though. That's
over
something-
all this that's going on, I still believe that somebody in this alliance, it be Zalto or it be somebody in our alliance, is going to turn on us, and I feel it.
Well, that's inevitable. That's
And when it happens, I don't know if we're ready for it and where it's going to happen and how it's going to happen, because Tiamat is way
It's
too
gonna happen
powerful of a being to not have at least one of these people on the end, going to be working for her, not with us.
oh, absolutely.
Now,
His name's Riker.
what would give you the idea that someone's going to turn?
Because it's the perfect opportunity. All of our eggs are in one basket.
I don't think TMA gives a shit about us in particular.
No?
Yeah, but if she had somebody on the inside that, how do we know?
Not her. I see the cult having someone in the inside. But that's a
Yeah.
far cry different from her, from the cult of Tiamat.
The cult, I don't know, I just feel like that we haven't seen the full potential of the cult.
I just figured that
The
the
whole
guys.
potential of the cult is the ancient dragon we just killed and the god they're trying to summon.
Yeah, there's something else. There's something else behind the scenes. that
I
we-
don't think Tiamat would really care about us. We'd probably be kind of insignificant to Tiamat for the most
Yeah.
part.
And I 100% don't trust cloth. I'm sorry.
Good, you're not supposed to.
Vesper doesn't trust him either, but it just means
What's going to stop him from picking the bones if we have this big war?
Maybe that's his goal.
And he flies out here.
Maybe to him this is TiVo.
Or maybe Or maybe he's getting exactly what he wants right now. We stop Tiamat, and then we kill off all these old dragons, these other ancient dragons. Like,
There's no one
like
left
Emmerich.
to oppose him.
Yes.
And then he's just like, he just rules, you know.
And then Avuthia turns into cloth, like I think she is anyway.
I become his right hand girl.
But then she wouldn't have cared enough to stay behind and protect that village.
It's all part of character. Cloth's an intelligent creature.
Yeah, but Cloth is also very prideful when
It's
it's
not
being
cloth.
himself.
I'm not saying it's cloth. It's
Interesting.
it's a entity of cloth. Like I think
You might have gave the DM an idea there.
I feel like it's a piece of him inside of her, and he will be able to put his full presence and flip it to a dragon whenever he wants to. Right on her.
Or what if
But why
Tiamat?
would when he has his own draconic presence. I just feel that's very demeaning for a dragon. Like a dragon would think that's a demeaning.
That way, if shit's looking like we win, but everything's toward a shit, and he boom.
You know, you say you would think that's demeaning for a dragon, but you just had a dragon turn into a giant, live with them, and that's like their ancient enemies.
Yeah, but see, because it was something that could oppose them, that's more respect than an ant.
True.
Yeah.
See, I think it'd be cool if like Cloth was like to unlock your full power, she'll have to kill or boost you.
Mm.
Me and
It's an
you,
interesting thought.
me and you were.
See, right
I
now,
would
it's
help her
just,
fight.
what y'all don't see is that he's not going to put up everyone. Yep.
I don't
That's
need
exactly it.
I don't need pen and paper. I can just watch this and you guys run around and get all my ideas off of it.
Wasn't we talking about something like this not too long ago?
Yeah.
Who says through
Like
the
the
first
player
two
say
round
something,
tables,
and
I was just supposed to steal your ideas.
yeah.
You ever talk about how the game's going to end, never say do it in front of the DM?
No, never.
Because that may be how it ends now, but it wasn't before.
All right, speaking of the end of the game, we'll wrap this up. It was great. How do you think this is all going to turn out? We're on the last leg of this game. You're getting closer to watching these dragon masks come together. You can't seem to get one. What are you expecting to happen? And you've got an idea of where some of them are.
I'm going to pass
She will
locate
give
person to find
her-
Cyan.
She will give her life to make sure these masks are returned to the right individuals, which is not Cloth, it's not the Harpers, it's the dragons that I promised I would give it to them. They could put it away for eternity.
Technically, they are property of the cult.
I think we're not going to get any of these masks. I think we'll have to end up fighting Tiamat. I guess that's going to come down to.
I don't want it to come down to that. But I don't think we.
And then what's going to happen is Tiamat's going to be like, Vesper, I'll give you a better deal than Cloth. And I'll be like, fair enough.
I don't think we can fight a god.
No, but we have a machine that does that for us.
And I don't trust that machine.
It's the Hulkbuster.
Don't trust the machine, just not the one that controls it.
Yeah. I don't know. There's so much in there.
I don't know. I think Tiamat will end up coming back.
That's honestly what my money's on.
I think that's what's going to happen because we have fucked up a lot. So I think we're just going to keep fucking up until Tiamat comes back.
Well, I guess we'll find out as we wrap up this roundtable and continue on with this session.
Yeah.